Good work, Descendant. The Colossus was stronger than average, and you still achieved a resounding victory. However, as long as the dimensional wall remains open, the invasion of the Colossi will never end. Until the dimensional wall is closed, humankind will have no choice but to live with the fear of the Colossi. Descendant, securing the Iron Hearts and closing the dimensional wall, it isn't just to defeat the Vulgus. If we cannot stop the invasion of Ingress by the Colossi, there will be no hope for humanity. Remember your calling. I will focus more attention on monitoring the Void Dimension.
That was a job well done, Descendant. While you were intercepting the Colossus, the guide gave Enzo some important intel. It concerns the next operation, so head back to HQ once you're ready.
Let me tell you how I managed to come back from the ruins again.
Are you ready to be? Are you ready to be?
Let me tell you how I managed to come back from the ruins again.
Are you ready to be shot?
Let
Oh, my beloved.
Let me tell you how I managed to come back from the ruins again.
The success of this operation will lead us to victory.
Stop by Crandall after my shift and buy some Inger cookies. It's run by the family of the royal confectioner who survived the apocalypse. How lucky is that?
Descendant, using the Ancestors' data, the guide claims to have discovered a zone where an Ironheart has been excavated.
No idea.
After undergoing emergency restoration protocols at that location, the guide should be able to track the Ironheart. The problem is, the Ironheart excavation site is near a Vulgus munitions factory. It's a weapons production site where cyborg Vulgus, the Legion of Immortality, are manufactured. Sharon and the Colon Special Forces along with Jeremy have been deployed there as the front line, and a bridgehead has been secured. I've assigned you to this operation as well. Sharon has exceptional infiltration skills, but I need someone who can lead the battle. Your mission is to infiltrate the Ironheart excavation site and restore the guide's system. I still have my doubts about the guide. Even for this operation, I'm sending you into the lion's den on the strength of her words. But after witnessing the intercept battle, I've made up my mind. We must find the Ironheart and close the dimensional wall as soon as possible. Failure to do so would leave the remnants of humankind to be trampled by the Colossi, even if we win the war against the Vulgus. So, I have decided to put my trust in the strategic value of the guide. For now. Descendant, I leave this operation in your hands. The fate of humanity rests on your shoulders.
Welcome. You're here for modules, right?
Let me tell you how I...
Keep your questions brief. You're here. Welcome to the Vulgus Munitions Factory. You've made quite the impression at Kingston. So much so, I was tempted to recruit you for Colon. But then again, the enemy isn't exactly a pushover. However, now that we have the guide as a strategic asset, I'm sure the trajectory of this war will change drastically. Shall we get started? Based on the coordinates provided by the guide, the Ironheart excavation site is near the enemy's industrial zone. Unfortunately, the exact location needs to be confirmed in person. The coordinates are based on data from the time of the ancestors, and there's a high probability that the topography today will look a little different. I'll do recon around the industrial zone. While I'm doing that, your mission is to create a diversion to draw the enemy's eyes away from me. Even though I have active camouflage, things will be much easier if you can hold the enemy's attention. I'll tell Jeremy to stay behind and provide operational support. Jeremy seems to be unable to link with the guide, so he won't be much use in finding the excavation site. He'll be better deployed using his arcade teleportation abilities as support for your diversion operation.
What, me? Support? Oh, for crying out loud.
hours of the morning, while it was still dark, I saw it with my own eyes. Something enormous crawling down through the darkness. It was no demon. It was something far deadlier than the demons which had terrorized us. It was the Reaper. This death god shot lightning and killed everything in its sight. My fellow refugees, my siblings. The Reaper executed everyone. When I close my eyes, I can still hear the sounds. People screaming. The death god approaching. Unable to move. I am unable to do anything at all. The spear in my hand is useless. I am unable to save anyone. I couldn't run. All I could do was pray for the end of this nightmare. And I alone survived, I think. Were there any other survivors? I see. Not one. So, I am the sole survivor. Did you find any traces of the death god? Please tell me if you do. I wish to be as far from it as I am able. Nobody can defeat the Reaper. Not even the demons. If you need it, you will die.
Guide, guide, guide! That's all everybody talks about these days. Since when did the higher-ups at Albion conduct operations based on the word of a spirit? Not to mention, excluding an excellent descendant like myself from this operation, everything's clearly going very well. Hey, you think it's funny I can't link with the guide? Alright then, let's consider which descendants aren't...
You've been ambushed. Or did you let it happen? As a feint, it worked well. But you mustn't let your guard down. Those Vulgus cyborgs have had quite a few upgrades recently. You may suddenly encounter powerful units that aren't in our database. Oh, we're definitely in Vulgus-occupied territory. There's no end to them.
High-level Vulgus closing in. We confirmed it's a new Kuiper-enhanced variant.
It's built from the same material as the one we're after. Make a note in the operations log, number 17. Thanks to the enemies being drawn your way, infiltration is going smoothly. Good job.
The communications deception transmitter at the Vulgus base is operational. Descendant, you need to protect the transmitter while it is operating. If the diversion works, we can detain a number of enemies here. Multiple Vulgus are closing in on the transmitter. There is a high probability this is the result of a communications diversion. Continue to engage them and stall for time as long as possible. High-level Vulgus closing in. Likely lured by our communications diversion. Tactical target achieved. Mission accomplished, Descendant.